he personally called the police and said he had just shot 2 people. When the police arrived, there was a living witness, but the killer had vanished. And this was only the beginning of a game that has still not ended. The first attack, where it all began. December 20th, 1968, Benicia, California. At 11 p.m., David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen were on their first date. They had parked their car on a deserted road, talking quietly. Suddenly, another car pulled up and stopped behind them. A man stepped out, wearing a black hood. Without saying a word, he shot David point-blank in the head. Betty ran. The killer fired 5 shots into her back. She collapsed 28 feet away. Police found no clues, no motive, no witnesses. It was a perfect murder. But this was only the trailer. The phone call that shocked the police. July 4th, 1969, Blue Rock Springs Park, Vallejo. At midnight, Darlene Farron and Michael Majau were sitting in a car, talking. A brown car arrived, circled the parking lot, then returned and stopped nearby. A man stepped out holding a bright flashlight. Michael thought it was the police. Bam! 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 He fired 9 shots at them. Darlene died on the spot. Michael was critically injured, but survived. The real horror was just beginning. 40 minutes later, the Vallejo Police Department received a call. Caller, I want to report a double murder. If you go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway, you'll find the kids in a brown car. They didn't harm anyone, and I'm the one who killed those kids last Christmas at Blue Rock Springs. Goodbye. The call disconnected. Police were stunned. The caller knew details only the killer could know. And he had claimed responsibility for the David Betty murders as well. America's most terrifying serial killer was now active. Letters, when the killer spoke for himself. August 1st, 1969. 3 San Francisco newspapers received identical letters. Each letter contained a cryptic cipher code, 408 symbols. Details only the killer could know. A chilling message. I want this code printed on the front page, or I will kill 12 more people. At the bottom was a symbol, a circle with a cross. He signed his name, Zodiac. Out of fear, the newspapers published the code. A schoolteacher couple, Donald and Betty Hardin, cracked it. The message read, I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest, because man is the most dangerous animal of all. It also said the people he killed would become his slaves in the afterlife. America trembled. Lake Berryessa, the most bizarre attack. September 27th, 1969. Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were picnicking near Lake Berryessa. Suddenly, they saw a man approaching. But this was no ordinary man. He wore an executioner's hood, black with a white circle cross symbol. His eyes were not visible. He carried a gun. In a calm voice, he said, I'm an escaped prisoner. I just want your car and your money. He ordered Brian to tie Cecilia with rope. Then he tied Brian. Then everything changed. He pulled out a knife and brutally stabbed them. Cecilia 10 times. Brian 6 times. Both were critically injured, but alive. The killer calmly walked away. Twist, he wrote a message on their car door with his symbol. Vallejo 12/20/68, 7/4/69, September 27th, 69, by knife. It was his timeline of crimes. He was confessing because he knew police would never catch him. Brian survived. Cecilia died 2 days later in the hospital. San Francisco, the cab driver murder. October 11th, 1969.
Paul Stein, a cab driver, picked up a passenger and drove him to Presidio Heights. The passenger shot him point blank. He took Paul's wallet and car keys, and the most disturbing part? He tore off a piece of Paul's shirt. Teenagers witnessed everything from a window and immediately called police. Description: white male, heavy build, reddish-brown hair, glasses. Police arrived within minutes. An officer actually saw a man walking who matched the description, but due to radio confusion, he was not stopped. Zodiac escaped again. 3 days later, newspapers received another letter with a piece of Paul Stein's shirt as proof. The letter mocked the police. He wrote, "School children make nice targets. I think I shall wipe out a school bus some morning." San Francisco was thrown into panic. Cipher codes, a puzzle that lasted 51 years. Zodiac sent 4 coded messages. Z408 cipher, 1969, solved by the Hardin couple. Z340 cipher, 1969, unsolved for 51 years. Finally solved in December 2020. I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber, because it will send me to paradise all the sooner. Z13 cipher, 1970, still unsolved, possibly his name. Z32 cipher, 1970, map coordinates, still incomplete. Zodiac was a genius. He knew exactly how to confuse police. The letter campaign, psychological warfare. From 1969 to 1974, Zodiac sent 18+ letters to police and newspapers. Some of the scariest lines: "I am not sick, I am insane, but that will not stop the game. If you don't want me to have this blast, you must do 2 things. P.S. The Mount Diablo code concerns radians plus number inches along the radians." He kept increasing his claimed body count, up to 37. Police confirmed only 7 victims, 5 killed, 2 survived. After 1974, silence. No letters, no murders. Zodiac vanished. Investigation, a 50+ year hunt. Main suspects, Arthur Lee Allen, wore a Zodiac brand watch. Friends said he mentioned crimes before they were public. Partial handwriting match. DNA did not match. Lawrence Kane, violent history, brain injury. Richard Gaikowski, newspaper employee. Earl Van Best Jr., his own son, claimed he was Zodiac. DNA evidence, partial DNA from stamps and envelopes, no confirmed match. 2021 update, the Casebreakers group claimed Gary Francis Post was Zodiac. The FBI did not confirm it. Impact, Zodiac in pop culture. Zodiac, 2007, directed by David Fincher. Hundreds of books and documentaries. Video games featured Zodiac-like villains, inspired copycat killers. Unsolved mysteries that still remain. Who was Zodiac? How many people did he really kill? Why did he stop after 1974? What do the remaining ciphers mean? Was Arthur Lee Allen truly Zodiac? Final twist. Is Zodiac still alive? If Zodiac was 25 to 30 years old in 1969, he would be 80 to 85 years old in 2025. Is he still alive somewhere? Is he reading about himself even now? Does he still remember the thrill? The FBI case is still open. Maybe it will be solved. Maybe it never will. But the legacy of the Zodiac killer will forever remain one of the darkest chapters in American history. Quick facts. Active period, 1968 to 1969. Confirmed victims, 5 dead, 2 survived. Claimed victims, 37. Letters sent, 18 plus. Ciphers, 4. Status, unsolved. Case status, still open with the FBI. This is the Zodiac speaking, a line that still sends chills through America.